Good evening, everyone. I'm Marty Sender, and this is Robin Young.
And we'd like to welcome you to Evening, the WBZ-TV show.
And that stands for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
We didn't know what it was going to be. It was sort of like we made it up as we went along. There had just been this revolution in television. There had been an introduction of a brand new kind of camera that could use videotape, and you could take it out in the field with you, so it was much easier than film. This time slot, 7:30 at night, all of these things came together along with a group of 25-year-old kids, that's what we were, and they handed us these cameras.
The ground is very far away, and I want out. I'm scared. I'll admit it, straight out, sweaty fear has got me in its grasp.
There's no feeling that I have ever had that compares to looking out into 5,000 feet of air and just sort of throwing my body out into it.
Go! Art!
Woo! Oh, my Lord, I did it!
And then, of course, we had to do it again because the audio failed on the first time down.
It was definitely a fun and entertaining show, but we also did a lot of what I'd call public affairs pieces, and that's where I really, that's where I found a real passion.
Our house is a very, very, very fine house.
We helped build one of the first Ronald McDonald houses, which is a home where families whose children had cancer, these were the families could go.
In a moment, we'll be in our departments as we continue our second.
There are more chocolate chip cookies per square foot in Faneuil Hall than there are anywhere else in all of downtown Boston. Hi, I'm Martin Schechter.
Well, the tipsters brought real information to the show. Ron Robin, Dave Maynard, oh gosh, Rob Roy McGregor. And then, of course, another wonderful person who came in as the show progressed was Joyce Kulhawick, this bright English teacher.
I was a school teacher, and I had quit my job, and I didn't know what I was going to do, so I was exploring a lot of different possibilities, and television was really just one of them. And I heard about an audition on a show called Evening Magazine. This is known as a Cheronia tritonis. And I had no experience on television. I'd never done anything like this before. So I was walking away from the audition thinking, I've really made a fool of myself, when Tom Houghton jumped out of the truck, he was the producer, and said, I think you've got something we're looking for. And I thought, what? Within a week they called me and asked me to sit down to lunch and told me that I had this job on Evening Magazine as a contributor 3 times a week. I really figured in the beginning that it was something that would last about 6 months and then I would get a real job. And it turned into the rest of my life.
Original hosts Marty Sender and Robin Young handed the spotlight over to Barry Nolan and Sarah Edwards in the 1980s.
I think you'll do just fine.
Hey there, good times, here I am.
So wonderful. Oh, we laughed. God, from the moment he got here, we just laughed.
When they first brought me up to talk to them about doing the show, they showed me this tape of all these really neat things that Marty Sender and Robin had done, all these great adventure things, and I thought, wow, that would be so neat to get to do that stuff, really neat. One of the early assignments I had was go out to an LA nightclub and cover mud wrestling, and I'd never been to a mud wrestling club before. I got thrown in at the end by this woman named Queen Kong, who pinned me. It was a blow to not only my pride, but bones.
Hello, I'm Robin Young, and I'd like to say goodbye. You see, I'm leaving Evening. Tonight's my last night. When you leave a place, you leave some things behind, and I'm going to right here, but I'm taking a lot more with me. Thank you.
Bye.
I came to Evening Magazine in 1980, just after Robin Young left, and prior to Sarah Edwards coming in. I was there from 80 to 81. During that year, I had some wonderful experiences getting to know Boston again. For my homecoming, coming back to Boston, they held a parade in my hometown of Melrose for me, which was really something else.
I'd like you to meet the new kid on the block here.
I'm Sarah Edwards.
Sarah is our new co-host. Hi, I'm Barry Nolan. Welcome.
When I started Evening Magazine, I went through a series of initiation rites. I mean, they wanted to see if I was going to be a good sport, so they did what they call the Sarah Gets Wet series. First log rolling. Of course you're going to fall off the log. Of course. So after that, I passed the test. Barry Nolan said that I was indeed a good sport. I was accepted.
And she's got a little girl that her name is Jill, who's 4.5, and she has acute myelogenous leukemia.
We did a story about how this wonderful woman had started a Make-A-Wish Foundation to grant wishes to children with catastrophic and terminal diseases. And they had made it possible for this little girl in Rhode Island to go to Disney World.
After all the planning and all the red tape that I had to go through just to get it going, to grant the first wish was the biggest, the best thing that could happen.
And to see the effect that lifting just for the weekend, just to lift this burden off all these people that, you know, is a great thing to see.
Oh, what people